Hey, it's High Vibe Hendy. I have a message for the Lightworkers Collective. Today I want to talk about the 144,000 that's been prophesized. So if you don't know about this, buckle up, Buttercup. So this is information that's been out there for a while, but I don't know how often this information gets around because, of course, nothing in life can be simple. But there's a prophecy of 144,000 light workers who are supposed to save the earth from the forces of darkness during the end times of Kali Yuga. If you don't know about that, please Google it and do a little bit of research. Okay, I'm just going to get into it. I'm too excited to give this message right now, honestly. So, where do I start? So the prophecy basically states that some of these light workers are like nowhere right now. Like they don't even know that they exist, and they're supposed to be waking up around this time to remembering who they are and what their divine purpose is in all of this. And you might be one of them. And I know a lot of us can be skeptical, so you're going to be like, oh, well, why didn't I know this if I was one of these chosen 144,000 people? Why aren't we aware of this? And the thing is, we are deep inside of our subconscious mind, but we're just not, like, they spend so much time getting us calcified, okay? Like, from the moment that we get here, they start giving us things that calcify our pineal glands. So it's not your fault that you don't know, but I'm hoping this video will help people to start to realize. Brief side tangent: money is not the root of all evil, but evil is the root of all money. One created the other and not the other way around. So I won't say that money itself is evil, because it's not. It's a tool that we can utilize to help us in life. It's not about what you have, it is how you use it. Okay, so that being said, let me go back to what I was about to say. Basically, we were programmed, timed, and are triggered to go off at this time to awaken our true identities and our mission and our purpose for incarnating on Earth, essentially, at what is the most crucial time in our Earth's history. If you feel like something is coming and you've been like more interested in politics and worldly affairs as of lately, it's because things are coming, like important things that we need to start working on. And so the light workers are sent here to save the planet, essentially. Now, before anybody develops a God complex, don't go crazy. The term of saving the planet carries a wrong connotation, and most people don't really understand what that means. I know it sounds very grandiose to be like, oh, I'm supposed to save the planet, but just hear me out. It's not about planet Earth, because the Earth will sustain itself with or without human life. Like, the Earth has got itself. But there's going to be this epic fight between the dark and the light, and just not in this physical realm. So that war that we hear about between dark and light is real. It's not happening here in 3D. It's happening in a more subconscious level. So as a species, there's something rotten deep within our collective psyche, unfortunately, because it's ingrained into us when we come here. They spend so much time reprogramming us, while our true programming is buried deep within our subconscious. They program a shadow into us, and that's the so-called forces of darkness. It's simply a projection of the shadow that we carry deep within ourselves that was basically ingrained into us from birth. And I could go off on a tangent about that because it's caused by the suffering and the oppression that they put into the backbone of the people that raise us. And over time, they try to make sure that people continuously teach their children this growing up, so that we can all just kind of collectively be on the same level to do what is needed to be done for the dark mission, which is rooted in materialism and greed and things that pertain to only satisfying the ego. Your ego is not your amigo. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. Don't let anyone or anything convince you off of your path in this life. Do not let them hit you with the okie doke. Okay, so the Lightworker Collective is supposed to face their own shadow and heal that, and then we're supposed to heal others on many levels, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And we do that through our work and our energy, once we learn to control and manage it in a balanced way. So that is what we're supposed to be learning about right now. But we get caught up in all this material stuff. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute. So essentially, we're supposed to save the world from the dark forces because we help heal the shadows of humanity, and help other people face their own shadows. Like, that is our purpose here. The number of people, was prophesized as 144,000 is exactly how many people trying to do the right thing that we need to influence the world in such a greater sense that it's continuously spreading at a rate that it can't be stopped, if that makes sense. Like, essentially, it's creating a wave that's powerful enough that it can't be stopped, like a tsunami of consciousness within the world. Okay? And we're in the age where we have technology on our side, and we have social media, and we have all these things where we can spread our messages. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was an ascension period in 2012 when everybody thought the world was ending, but it was a new beginning. And it was like, after that, there was this huge shift in consciousness where people were kind of letting go of their soul mission. Like, a lot of us might have been in alignment with being really loving, and maybe you went through heartbreak, or maybe you lost something, or maybe something came along in your life to shut you down on your journey, and this huge shift happened. And some people kept it under wraps that they knew what their mission was, and they just kind of sat on it and didn't really tap into it too much. But now they're being reawakened, and so that's why you're experiencing that right now. The purpose of this tsunami is that it's supposed to wash the world of its negative behaviors that are holding us back from our true potential of love, which is the frequency that we're supposed to all be vibrating on consistently. Like, when you try to stop a fire from spreading, if you put out a certain amount of the fire, the rest of it will simply extinguish itself. You know, you don't have to keep fighting as hard, right? Because it's not going to be easy. So I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I'm one of the 144,000? So some signs that you might be one of these people, like, one of the basic ones that we all recognize is that you, like, genuinely are happy for others. You want other people to be happy. You know, those are like very surface level ones. You know, we know what people associate with good. So you have a general sense of goodness within you, or a sense of morality. And this is one that, you know, you wouldn't think that is the experience of a light worker, but it is. You, like, have this conflicting feeling where you love people but you hate them at the same time. And it's confusing because it's like, you know, you unconditionally love who that person is at their core, to their core, but you hate all this junk that's preventing them from being their authentic self, like their ego or addictions, bad choices they may make, or negativity that they may spread. And, like, so it creates this feeling of, like, you want to isolate even though you absolutely love people and you love connecting to people. You know, there's that saying where it's like, you feel alone in a room full of people. It's essentially like that feeling. And that one's really hard because then you feel guilt attached to that. So another thing is that you may experience anxiety attacks or anxiety problems very often, or when you have them, they're intense. Like, maybe you threw a lot of tantrums as a kid. Maybe you have issues with putting holes in the wall. Maybe you have anxiety that manifests through, like, when you instead of fight or flight, you have the third option of freezing that nobody really acknowledges, where you have anxiety that's so intense that it's absolutely paralyzing. And the reason for that could be because you're not tapped into your psychic abilities. And so you feel like there is something wrong when you just don't know really where to direct that or where it's coming from. And as you unlock your gifts more, you'll be able to understand the root of the anxiety and to pinpoint with your intuition what's going on and what needs to be done about that. Also, being around groups of people can cause you a lot of anxiety because you know that you're going to come into a lot of energy and have to experience other people. obviously, like, being an empath and being able to feel what other people are feeling and kind of having to spread your energy around certain people because of that, how you feel their energy is affecting you. You can't stand injustice, and you're like either a truth teller or a truth seeker. Like, you absolutely can't stand to see when something is not right. You don't like to see people treated unfairly. That's another sign, is that, like, you don't like to see animals specifically treated unfairly. Like, you feel deep anger when you see an animal being mistreated or harmed, or you feel like sadness, or you feel disappointment in humanity. Like, you absolutely can't stand to see the way that people treat animals or use them selfishly for our own purpose. So you might be a vegetarian or a vegan, or at least very conscious with how you eat your meat, and how you provide that for yourself and for your family. Just like a deep sense of connection with animals and nature. You might also be the type of person who can't say no to an animal. Like, I have a cat and I'm absolutely allergic. I have quite a few cats, but I'm allergic to them, and if I find an animal outside that needs help, I have to help it. Like, in your life, if you have experienced that, where you've like rescued a lot of animals in the wilderness that you found injured, or adopted a dog from the side of the road that you saw like didn't know where its home was and helped it reunite with its owner, or maybe even like took care of your classroom pet. I don't know, just, you get the pictures. Like, somebody who selflessly does acts for animals and other humans too. Like, if you help an old lady cross the road, or if you help a turtle, which is similar to an old lady, across the road, those kind of behaviors are very indicative of light workers that are one of the chosen. If you ever want to know if you're surrounded by others that are like you, just drop a pen in an elevator. You know what I mean? Like, just drop something, some papers or something on the floor, and you'll see light workers come out of the woodwork. I mean, they will drop to their knees to try and catch the papers as they're falling, to try and help you. That is the integrity of somebody who doesn't like to see others hurting and likes to help them. And often, you might be beaten down by people calling you a people pleaser, or saying that you are too generous, or you're too kind, you help too many organizations, or you give money to homeless people, you do all these things that people are like, don't do that, don't do that. But you embrace your abundance, and you have this hyper sense of awareness that that things are going to work out for you, and that abundance will always come back around. And it's not like, again, I'll say, it's not what you have, but how you use it. You either have a greater sense of knowing that you need to treat others how you want to be treated and not how they treat you, or you're just now waking up to that and remembering that. But that is really important. What you seek is seeking you. Remember to be the change that you want to see, be the person that you want to meet, be the version of yourself that you want to be every day. Make a conscious decision to do that. Okay, whether or not you're a chosen person, you can decide to be one of these people, right? You can join the wave at any time. Set the bar high, set the standards high for your community, for yourself. Not in a materialistic way, in a spiritually inclined, loving, vibrational frequency, right? Unconditional love. Okay, anyways, what was I saying? You are somebody who probably always tries to lighten up the mood. Whenever there's something tense going on, you'll tell a joke, or if somebody is down, you'll try to cheer them up. Or if somebody asks you for help, you might go out of your own way to help them. You're always trying to help heal people in situations, or help people in situations. You might have a dark sense of humor that other people don't understand, because you are trying to make light of a situation that normally people are like, let's not joke about that. But you're like, well, we have to laugh about it because otherwise we can't heal it. You know, if you're that kind of person, you tend to inspire people without trying to, and sometimes you're unaware of it. When you share something or you show your gifts online, if you wake up to a bunch of messages from people telling you, hey, that really helped me, or hey, I really love your energy, or you have a lot of people coming to you giving you props for the things that you're putting out, it's because you're inspiring others, you're helping people, you are living in that purpose and already doing those things. And it might just be something you consider as a part of your character and your great personality, but it might be more than that. It might be showing that there's an underneath layer of your subconscious purpose and connection. Maybe that part of you never was asleep, or maybe it's been awakened at some point along your journey. Another thing is that you might like to merge dualities into one, like science and spirituality mixed together, which I'm a huge fan of, psychology and philosophy, or technology and nature, you know, and embracing what we can do with the technology and the all the knowledge that we have today to apply it to help in nature rather than harm nature. You might have two favorite colors. You might like to do things in twos, like you embrace the dark and the light. You draw your light from all of the shadows that you have seen and experienced, and it's what helps you to create your brightness, is, you know, the experience of embracing your dark and light at the same time. So duality is a huge sign, and being able to embrace like good qualities and bad qualities in people. Like loving both sides to a person, their dark and their light aspects. Loving polarities and two opposing things in life. Like being able to balance your views and appreciate both sides of something. And what I mean by that is like accepting people for their dark and their light, and understanding that the process of learning to help this person past their darkness is what's going to bring light to them and to yourself and to others. So you embrace the qualities about people that some others may not like, because you see it as an opportunity for growth. You might also be somebody who doesn't really, maybe you study a bunch of religions, you learn about a bunch of religions, you're interested in different religions and stuff, but you don't question too much because you have a greater sense of knowing, where you don't really have to like research. You just might kind of have stuff kind of figured out, or a deep sense of like when you hear something you're like, yeah, that sounds right. Your understanding of spiritualism could be based off of many different religions, many different gods, many different books, just but like this greater sense of knowing information without necessarily having to seek outside for it. So this is called the 11th hour, and it means great change is taking place on Earth right now. So everybody needs to basically wake themselves up and stop engaging in low vibrational activity at this time. Decalcify your pineal gland, let go of your dreams of materialism, obsessing over things that don't really matter. Think how you can really positively change the world and get up to the task of living within your divine purpose of what you're really supposed to be doing here. And, stop following societal norms and trends and do what you know that you're meant to be doing here on this earth, that's divine and that's guided in a way that you don't feel tension, you don't feel upset, you don't feel unhappy, you don't feel pushback constantly. And if you still don't know what your purpose is, just do what feels good and natural to you, and whatever makes you feel alive and like this life is worth living, like whatever has meaning for you, or simply live through your heart and resonate with the frequency that is love, because that's all we really need to heal humanity. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I wish you luck on your journey. To all my Lightworker Collective, keep living in love and light, and let's save humanity together.